All right, welcome to Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson. Today, we're going to explore our pelvic tilt, a standing core exercise. We're going to look at some variations on our feet, some variations on working through our whole core area, not just the rectus abdominis or six-pack ab muscle. All right, you don't need any special equipment for this, so let's get to it. We do want to begin with our feet hip distance for this. We always want to make sure too that we have a slight bend in our knees when we do these. If we lock it out, our hips aren't going to be able to move much. So we soften, then our hips have more freedom of movement. So feet hip distance, kind of locking into the ground, soft bend at the knees, shoulders start over the hips. This is a standing crunch, so we should feel a crunching action every time across the abdominal muscles. So tilt the hips forward and back. And let's see if we can focus on not using our glutes, but using our navel, pulling in over and over, feeling like we're getting punched in the gut over and over, all right? So this is the proper technique for our pelvic tilt. Soft bend in the knees. We can even take our feet a little wider, keep that soft bend, tilt forward. So this time we are going to feel a little bit more in the low glutes to get the hips forward. But we also should feel a little wider spread of what's happening up in the front of our body. We can also take this to more of a cat and cow move. So the hips tilt way up and they tilt way forward. And this way our whole spine gets involved in the movement. This is a good warm-up exercise for other exercises. And the other thing to think about, let's roll up, is moving just at our hips. So when we did these tilts, you'll notice everything up here stayed the same. Ribs and up doesn't move. So let's take our feet a little wide and see if we can do some circles with just the hips. So we're going to do some intervals here in a moment with some of these moves. All right, let's shake it out. So that is our proper way to do a pelvic tilt. Let's go ahead and look at doing it in an interval style, all right? So starting with our feet hip distance, we're going to start with that regular pelvic tilt. All right, here we go. So tilt forward, over and over. So try to take this at a fast pace. We can add some arms here, adding a little bit of chest work, getting everything across the front squeezed. Starting to breathe through our mouth as our heart rate goes up. Let's take a little break here and a step touch. We're going to move into cat and cow next. So let's go ahead and bring our feet hip distance. We're a little bit wider. Shift forward. Here we go. Whole spine open, whole spine in, whole spine out, whole spine in. So if you get dizzy, be careful with this one. Go slower so that we don't whip through our neck. Few more seconds, and roll it up again, step touch. So this next one, we're going to take it to that wide tilt. Feet a little bit wider than hip distant. Here we go, soft bend in the knees, go. So remember, it's a crunch. We should feel like we're getting soft in the gut each time we do this, because it's kind of what we're doing. So a little bit of squeezing into the lower glutes here, but try to relax the glutes and really focus on that movement up here at the front abdominals. A little bit more, and shake it out. All right, let's take it to 1 foot, 1 step in front of the other. Soft bend in both knees. Here we go. So while we're focusing up here, we're going to feel this a little bit more in the oblique here, and that one glute. So keep going, almost there. And rest. Whew. We're going to take it to the other side on the next one. So let's go ahead and step that 1 foot forward. Soft bend in both knees. Weight even in both feet. Here we go. So just keeping our whole body up, tilting forward and back, squeezing. Feeling a little bit more into our oblique, a little bit more into that hip, and rest. Whew. So let's go ahead and try some hip circles on this next one. So feet will be a little wider than hip distant. We can take hands to our hips or our ribs, soft bend in the knees. Here we go. Let's go 10 seconds in one direction, seeing if we can move just the hips. So that's why we're holding our ribs. Get ready, switch directions. Almost there. This should be getting everything. Rest. All right, so we're gonna look at tilting to the side. We'll do one side and then the other. Let's take our feet hip distance, soft bend in the knees. Let's do one to the front and then just to the side. So like our ribs and our hip are gonna touch over to this one side. So really feeling this in the obliques. Keep breathing. Whew. We got one more interval after this, and that's the other side. Get ready, release. We'll stretch it out a little bit more in just a moment. Keep moving. All right, let's come back to the center. Here we go, one to the front, and then off to the side. Again, ribs toward hip, hip toward ribs, squeeze, kind of like a pinch to the side waist. Take it as fast as you want to go. Almost there. Keep breathing. All right, let's go ahead and step out a little wide, easy circles. We can use the whole body in our circles this time. Good job. Let's go the other way. Now let's just look at stretching every section of our abdominals. So from here, let's start with our back. We're gonna hinge forward and just let everything come down, letting our head hang, our upper body rock, releasing pressure at our lower back. Now let's bring it up and we'll take it over to one side. So really pressing that one foot into the floor, reaching for the ceiling or over. We can take it a little wider, or for really deep, cross that foot over. Still breathing through our mouth. Let's come back up. And again, we'll take it to the other side. Push the foot into the floor, reach up, reach over, step wide or step over. So we're all just finding what works for us, stretching out our abdominals, stretching out our core from all the work that we just did. And let's bring it up. We're gonna make easy fists. Place them right there on our bottoms, elbows back, shoulders back. And let's just lengthen up to the ceiling here and maybe just begin to take the shoulders back. We can release up and back through the crown of our head if we're feeling it. Several deep breaths here, opening our chest. And let's go ahead and draw in, take a deep breath together, let it go. All right, so let me know what you think of that in the comments below the video here. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel for me, all right? See you next week.